Now, this is of shocking news yesterday after loose man Mark Wright and his wife Michelle Keegan's home was robbed. The couple who were at home at the time reportedly hid from burglars in a locked bedroom. I mean, it's terrifying, even at just repeating that. The police arrived within 8 minutes, so obviously it was sending them all of our love. But would you know what to do if someone broke into your home, I guess, is the question. But, I mean, you work on instinct, don't you? I mean, would you know what to do, Jay?
I don't think anybody ever knows until they're in that situation, because the adrenaline can make you behave in a way that you might not expect yourself to behave, and that works both ways. But thankfully, is there any wood in this studio? Oh,
my head.
My head. I haven't had to... I mean, I've been burgled way back in the day, but I wasn't actually in. I've not been in, but I must say I was... obviously, I've come across the police in many times in my job, and one of them was saying to me not that long ago that it is a new thing now that they come in the day because they know you haven't got your alarm on because you're there. And particularly with people who've got children, you're not going to want to do anything to put your children at risk. If your children have just gone to bed or something, you know, they know that. So, I mean, it's incredibly scary.
I mean, that is alarming, because I always thought the best defence, you know, obviously when you've got time to think about it, is to make sure that your house is lit up, because they don't like the daylight. But if you're saying that actually people are coming in daylight, then, you know...
Yeah, well, this was quite early, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think they know that you haven't put so they're not dealing with an alarm system. Obviously, your cameras are still working and whatever, but yeah, I mean, Gary, at our house, he was always Mr. Safety, which I think you are as well. Yeah. And, you know, we had so many locks and we had cameras, and our house lit up very much at night, and police said that is a big deterrent.
Yeah.
Because it was like Highbury in the evenings, our house.
I mean, Mylene, you have been there.
Yeah, no, it happened to me. When my daughter, she was a baby, so she was in her cot, so she was really tiny, and I was on the phone to my girlfriend at the time, and she heard the whole thing happening in real time. In fact, it was her that called the police.
So what was your first indication then?
So I was sitting on the phone and I just saw a shadow go past, and I didn't even think about it. I just thought it was a cat going past the security lights, and then a second shadow went past and it was very clearly a man. And I said to her, I think there's someone trying to come in the house. So then she started... what's going on? Tell me what's going on. And I was trying to get her to keep quiet. I don't know why. It's like you said, you don't know how you're going to react in that scenario. And then I looked at the security camera and I could see there was a van as well. So that was 3 people that I'd figured out were trying to come into the house.
And you were just on your own with the baby?
I'm on my own. I'm a new mum. It's utterly terrifying. It really is. And I stood up and I just
what goes through your mind? Sorry to interrupt, but what?
It is like something...
Are you rational?
No, something takes you over. In fact, it was my girlfriend that said you sounded like an animal. She said, I'd never heard you sound like that before.
So did you start screaming?
I raised all kind of hell. I would have said before that, especially being a new mum and you're in that nurturing stage, I thought that I'd be really fearful. I went mad. They must have wondered who on earth's house they're trying to break into. I went mad. I chased them off the property. I was screaming the place down. The police came really quickly because my friend had called them, and then it hit me. Then it hit me what had happened. Well, yeah, thank goodness I was on the phone, because, you know, I don't know what would have happened after that. And since that moment, I've been extremely security conscious. My kids will tell you all about it. Internal door locks, the security. Look, there's no guarantees, but it's in the same way that you walk down the street.
Inform them on what to do.
All the time. You wouldn't walk down the street and say that they advertise what you have, I suppose. No. So I think it's the same with you try and take as many precautions as you can. And I tell my kids, this is what you do if someone comes in. This is where we go.
Well, this is what we give. You've been through it, so I mean, you can see why you would want to be prepared. But I'm interested when you say that you really don't know what you're going to do until the moment.
Oh, I lost it. I raised hell.
Because did you not have a situation?
Yeah, years ago. Do you remember me and my sister came back into the house from one side of the door, and my parents' house, which was right connected, we knew they were away. There was a potted palm just on the floor.
Wow.
And then I heard, like, this clack, clack, clack upstairs, like DVDs, and that's actually what they were doing. And I'm not brave. I am not a brave person, and I would always say run the opposite direction. But I just charged up the stairs. And my sister was like, for God's sake, what are you doing? Come down, come down, come down. Anyway, we went out, we called the police came. And then we went round to the other front door where they dropped their bikes. Their bikes were outside the other front door. The police came so fast because the burglars were still in there. This woman, she was amazing. Talk about Bond. She was kicking at this door to kick the door down, but they went out the back. And they left their bikes and everything. But, yeah, afterwards, I was really shaken, but at the time I'd lost it.
It's how vulnerable people are made to feel in their houses. That's what I hate. I've got neighbours, you know, elderly neighbours. They're just so scared all the time, and that's what I think they take away. It might not be the actual possessions, it's just that confidence of living in your own home, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's always a question, isn't there, you know, should you pick up, you know, some kind of weapon, you know, in your house? And just the police advice on that, it does say that you can use reasonable force to protect yourself or others if a crime is taking place inside your house, which does include using an object as a weapon.
Does it?
Yeah, it means you can stop an intruder running off, you can tackle them to the ground. So there's no definition of reasonable force, and we've seen this in news stories over the years, haven't we? But you could be prosecuted if you carry on attacking the intruder, even if you're no longer in danger, or if you pre-plan a trap for someone. Rather than involve the police. So that's the law on it. But whether that's going through your head as you feel in mortal danger, I don't know.